Hey there, just cracking my neck a little bit. Hey, there we go. Cracked it a little bit there. Feels better. So, I've had debt at the library for a number of years now. I've just never paid it off. Um, so I've decided to go ahead and pay it off so I can check out some books again. Um, Hopefully on the languages. We've got some Afghan refugees that are going to be coming here in town. Um, Not too many. I think it's 60 something. But I'm hoping to learn a little bit of their languages. No, I can't be an interpreter right away, but I'm hoping that, of course, I'll have to stop wearing clothes like this because they can't really have women like this in their culture. But I'm hoping that eventually um, they can learn a little English from me because I'll be able to speak a little of their language will be practiced. So hoping that we can at least I'll make them feel a little bit more welcome. I don't know how a lot of people make them feel, but I don't know. People tell me I can be a good teacher, so yeah. Um, but that's like Pashto, Dali, Farsi, and Uzbek, which I was a little surprised about Uzbek, but I mean it's Afghanistan, not Uzbekistan, so I'm mostly interested in the Uzbek because, well, Uzbek is I mean, just it's different countries, so it's like, I don't know how many people would speak Uzbek. Maybe that would be a little bit more of a niche language and be more in need by a few people. So I don't know. Maybe that would be helpful to these refugees here in town. But they're only going to be like 65 or so that are coming in. So like I said, I'm gonna have to stop wearing shirts like this in live streams if they show up because, from what I understand, their culture, women can't dress like this. So yeah, but that's what I'm going to be doing today. Paying off my library fees. My library fines was just 70 something dollars, I believe. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't really cook anything this morning. I had protein powder, so I'm kind of hungry. Got some green tea for caffeine. Didn't have any soda on me, so got some green tea for caffeine. Something I'd like to talk about real quick is something I was really having weird when I was adjusting to my uh, PTSD medication at first with anxiety. Um, I was so relaxed compared to what I normally was that I would just speak my mind a lot. I would have a lot less of a filter. I would just say what I wanted to say pretty much. So I guess that's something I learned, and I let a few people know that I was on new medication and I was adjusting to it, and we are gonna see what would happen shortly. So I let a few people know so they knew that I might act weird for a little while, see how I adjust to it. But I think after a week and a half, I went back to normal. But Uzbek is going to be the going to be I don't know if that's going to be the hardest language or not, but most obscure. It feels like that'll be my focus because it seems like that's going to be the one that people won't go into as much. I like to check out the material and then try to find out if people will study with me. But I mean, with my attention span, I could probably only do 15 minutes in a subject a day instead of 2 hours in a day. But I don't know, maybe we could take turns renting out the material among us, among people, among us in a group of learners, and then we could study together because I'm pretty sure if something's for nonprofit education, they that you can make as many copies of something as you want, but that may be if it's in school. If it's in school with school material, like university, college material, that might be the case. So I know it is for privatized copies. But um, it has to be specifically for nonprofit education. And the thing is, you have to, like, with my live streams, they're for profit. So that would be that'd be kind of a gray area. I mean, I could argue that it's to help people that are refugees to be able to speak English better and to become more adapted to the language, but it just really it's a gray area, and I don't want to get into it too much. But I could still learn. I could still study the material. I guess it's kind of like sticking stuff on your board. One good thing though, one victory yesterday is I was tired and I had to psych myself up, but I was able to study on Duolingo, which was rough for me because, hmm, well, how should I put it? I knew in my head it was harder to start than to actually do the material. The material itself wasn't hard to do. It was hard to get me to start doing it because it wasn't fun. So I had to psych myself up and reminded myself that once I did, it was done, and then I can get on with my day. So yeah, that's what I had to do, and I was able to do it for 15 minutes. Just do it for 15 minutes, the minimum I needed to do a day, and I did it. So that was a small victory. But yeah, I'm going to be paying off that debt finally. Um, I bought a Zuko figure to get autographed at the convention, and that's going to unfortunately took a lot of the money I had in my account out. But unfortunately, that did take quite a bit of the money out. So, and now you guys are watching. Come on, chat with me. Let's see what you want to do. I don't think I have D&D today, so that leaves a lot of time to do stuff today. I'll have time to clean my apartment, which I've got a vinegar fly problem. Um, Set up some traps. They're working somewhat, not entirely, but they're working somewhat. So I just remembered like eye contact with the camera. That's hard for me to do um, because I keep looking at my own eyes. I keep looking at my own eyes here, um, which is well something I really have to learn. It's kind of like I learned growing up with the autism to constantly look into people's eyes. And so it's hard for me to ignore my own eyes because I'm constantly looking at my own eyes for, well, out of politeness, out of social norm. And now I'm looking into the camera to adapt to it as if I'm looking at other people. But it's something I have to adapt to, honestly. It's a difficult thing. Something new I have to adapt to. But, yeah. I'm really hoping that I can. I don't know. I hope I can get people to try to help other people. Like, I know I can only do so much, and I'm hoping to inspire people to help others. It's like I can only do so much for myself. So I hope people can see that through my desire to help people and my actions to help people, that they can also help other people. I was like, hey, this person who's in a horrible position helping people, why aren't they doing it? You know? So, yeah. Uh, Plans today. Well, clean my apartment definitely. Study, like I said, pay off my library fines. Figure out why my library card's not working. Uh, Probably pick up some soda because I'm not really waking up the tea here. Tea's not really doing it for me. Oh, I barely have any sugar in the house. It's like artificial sweetener, and that's it. Get a little tea in my beard, but I really got like artificial sweetener. That's about it. I do have a. Hmm, there. My apartment is getting a lot better, but it's really hard for me to do that final push, you know, and like clean it up all the way because I have such a low standard compared to most people as far as what cleanliness would be. You know, it's like the standard is so low compared to what like most people's cleanliness would be. So I have to just work on that. Something else I've noticed from watching my videos is I slur my words a lot. I don't enunciate well, so I have to really work on that. Have to work on my speech. I think that might help my videos. As if I don't, as if I enunciate better. So yeah. What else is there? Oh, I need to purchase a new kilt. The library finds come first, so I don't know if I'll be able to get a new kilt because the other one's too big. So I don't know if I'll be able to get a kilt. Time for St. Andrew's Day, but oh well. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? Can you give me a chat? Hmm. Can you give me something to chat to talk about? Hmm. Let's see now. Anything else I can really talk about? It's raining right now, unfortunately. Kind of a dreary day. Seems to have stopped raining. It's starting to get a little bit brighter. Hey, Soot. Yeah, it's starting to go a little bit brighter this morning, so it's it might clear up a little bit today. We'll see. Yeah, Soot, I'm talking about paying off some library fines that I've had for years and just paying them off because technically it's at the level I would get debt collectors. It's set to a debt collector agency. Dang, that's a lot. 6 7 days out of the week. How's the soil been? Has there been any problems with like flash floods or soil erosion or anything like that? Have there been any of those problems? Yeah. So it's like it's got good drainage system basically, because I'm not sure what you mean by slants. Is it like man-made structures to help water runoff, or because Scotland has interesting. Hmm, I see. That's interesting. Actually, Indiana is called the Hoosier state because Hoosier basically means hill people. Um, Indiana is kind of hilly. Actually, it has a number of hills compared to other states. We don't have like very large hills, but actually, we have hills around here in Indiana. Um, but we're not flat. We have actual like areas that go up and down and whatnot. Haven't really seen much, but we do have. Probably because it's been terraformed a lot with development, with like turning land into farmland and building cities and whatnot. I'd say we have destroyed all of the hills, but there are still some hills. Um, there are actually, like for instance, Fort Wayne is actually called Summit City because it was the highest point on the Wabash Area Canal when the Wabash Area Canal was constructed. So um, Fort Wayne is one of the higher places in the state as far as altitude goes. Hmm. Hmm. Well, unfortunately, I'm not good with interpreting jokes because of the autism, so it's a little hard to understand that. But I've never heard of haggis actually being illegal in Indiana or in the U.S. I've never heard of it being illegal. I can check. Of course, there are a lot of laws that are still in the books that aren't enforced. So I'll check. Hey Google, is haggis illegal in the U.S.?
According to Wikipedia, in 1971 it became illegal to import haggis into the US from the UK due to a ban on food containing sheep lung, which constitutes 10 to 15% of the traditional recipe.
Okay, so it seems like it's illegal to import it, but it's not illegal to make it here in the U.S. So haggis is not illegal; it's just illegal to import. So it could be because of issues with concerns about contamination, like either in shipment or in the processing, that like the Federal Department of Agriculture would have concerns they might have, but it doesn't seem that haggis is necessarily illegal. It's just illegal to import. So it seems like if you got the materials here in the U.S., you could make it in the U.S. So that's what it looks like. Or that's how it seems. But that's how it seems. It seems like it's not illegal, just illegal to import. Kind of like I don't know, like rattlesnake. You can actually eat rattlesnake here in the U.S. Like you can sell rattlesnake. Yeah, you couldn't legally um, import import what do you call it, haggis from Scotland. Yeah, I could see that. Although I'm sure you could in Scotland. I don't know. In Scotland, you might be able to make the meat there. You know, and get the ingredients there. Like a lot of meats are just made in certain ways with certain seasonings and spices. So you could make them anywhere, really, if you had the right equipment or the right environment. Like, say you needed a dry environment, you could, if you had the equipment, artificially create that a lot of places. I mean, some things like you couldn't have like um, jerky that you made in the sun necessarily in Scotland, from what I understand from what you're saying. Um, yeah, but I mean, but you could like just get jerky under heat lamps or something. Yeah, you can get alligator here. No, can you get jerky from like Amazon? I don't know. Can you get jerky? Because we have some good jerky. Um, I think it's good anyways. But it's jerky. And of course, some jerky is better than others. But you're gonna pay for it. It's like, do you want something? Uh, let's see. The question is, like, what kind of jerky do you want to get? Do you want the jerky you get everywhere? That's like something like Jack Link's is a brand that you get everywhere, which is passable. Or do you want to get something that's better? It costs a good amount more. It's like, what do you want to get? Do you want something? I'm gonna imagine your girlfriend's good. She's good. A little upset that I'm not buying, or I'm not, sorry, not buying, not studying Mandarin as much as I could. But mm, that's seriously. Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Excuse me. Ugh. Let's see what we got here. Well, it depends. Some people, I mean, some women like guys that cook. Some women don't care. Some women don't want a guy that can cook because they want to do the cooking. So, well, you could get the same result with a sharp knife. You just have to be skilled, and that takes time and practice. That's one thing. You could get the result. Not as uniform as a meat slicer. Meat slicers are going to be much more uniform and much more dependable. But you could get pretty uniform with a knife. But it's going to take time and practice. That's the only thing. Sorry, I haven't had much caffeine to this. This green tea is not very caffeinated. Yeah, I guess will is probably the hardest thing for me to work on. The will to change, the will to get this changed, to get that change. You know what I mean? Change is hard. I mean, for anyone. Yeah, change is hard for anyone, but it's like when you have when you have a disability like autism, people that are autistic, for people that are autistic, change is even harder than someone that's not autistic. I'm not sure why, but our brains are even more resistant to change. It could be because we like routine much better, um, due to the fact that it gives us a sense of control. That might be the case. It gives us a sense of normalcy because life is so chaotic and it makes so little sense that to an autistic brain, um, we need routine to feel like we have some control. And people that are not autistic are okay with not having that control because they feel like they can have control without that much routine. Thank you, Sid. Has being autistic benefited you in any way? Um, has being autistic helped me in any way? Well, it has given me empathy because it's like I've realized how people treat me. It's helped you realize how like I've seen how people treat me, and so I've like okay, so I don't want to treat other people that way. Um, it's also kind of been like so with therapy, of course, therapy has been a lot of help that kind of compounded with the autism. But it's kind of made it so I don't lash out my own frustrations on other people because I feel the empathy of I don't like it when people lash their own frustrations out on me. You know, so I won't do that on someone else. Really, like when I'm upset about a situation, I don't. I try not to lash out at the person on their end, like with customer service. You know, if I'm upset, I don't take it out on them. Like for instance, if like for Amazon, here's a good example. And I was trying to get on Amazon, I forgot my password, so I was just really nice to the lady on the other end, and she actually wrote me a thank you email. She wanted to said she said she hopes I'm the next person she talks to, but she actually wrote me a thank you email about how I was very warm and kind. But it's just I was like I realized it was my fault. I forgot my password. It was nothing to do with her. It was my own fault. So that was that logic. I'll get to you 1 second, Soup. I'm gonna finish one more uh, thing, and then I'll get to you. I'll get back to your comment. The other thing is, it's been really beneficial to the workplace in the sense of I understand um, if you tell me to do something, I'll do it. Kind of like it's my job. It's like I'll read the contract, and in the contract it says something like perform other duties as required. You know, it's like it's in the contract they have to do it. It's like if you have training and you are capable of doing those jobs, then you pretty much have to do those jobs no matter what. You know, that's how it works. Um, if you're capable, you're not gonna put yourself at risk. You know, you have to do that job. if you're told to do something, you do it. You know, doesn't really matter what it is. So that has helped me a little bit because it's made me a good worker. Um, and like for instance, someone was saying one time, remember, I was at Burger King and an employee was talking about how they had to shovel the driveway or shovel the parking lot, and he said they do it for free. It's like, no, you're on the clock. You're being paid to shovel the driveway. It's like, you know, you're being paid to shovel the driveway. You're not shoveling it for free. So yeah, it's like that's the thing with jobs. They can have you do pretty much whatever they want you to do. So that's actually helping with being autistic. Is it's like you tell me to do a job, I'm doing it. So there are positive things. The other thing is that when I'm able to focus on something, I'm able to do it well. Oh, here's something actually. I've seen been able to solve problems at work sometimes. Um, like at my one job, there was a website they started up as another division that wasn't doing so well, and it took getting to the right person. It took the right person to get into uh, letting know the right person, letting the right person know that it was that my idea, and of linking the new site to one of our existing sites, making a link, um, which was a very simple thing to do. I thought to do it. It took finally being able to notify the right person before it was enacted, but it was enacted and it saved the site. All of a sudden, the site got a lot of traffic and it was able to be profitable. So that's an example of being autistic and it being beneficial because it's like I was able to, you know, be beneficial to the company. I can think of a few more examples, but that's a little bit running on. Okay, Sup, let's go to your comment. Uh, well, what do you mean by okay? So Sup, what do you mean by haven't accepted the change fully? Do you mean um? Let me see. Company made change. Oh, okay. So they don't like the change and they don't like trying to adapt. Okay, that's what you're saying. Yeah. Um, that can be part of resistance to change. It's like they don't like it that things have changed. People that are artistic don't like it that things have changed, and it's kind of like security has gone away. It's like your sense of security has gone away, and a lot of time, sometimes it takes a while for someone that's autistic to learn a system, and it's like all of a sudden all their hard work is gone. That can be true too. Sometimes it takes us longer to learn a system, but that can be part of the reason too. Yeah, they can be like sometimes routines can take a while to learn, and that can be hard because then it's like all my hard work was for naught, and then at the same time, it can be like our sense of security, of reliability, of dependability, of order is gone. So it's like that. It's like our sense of normalcy is gone, and we like being normal because then we feel safe. Whereas people that are not autistic can feel like things change and they feel safe anyways. So that's something to keep in mind, I guess. No, this is uh, Elizabeth from Seven Deadly Sins as a waitress. No, it was part of a subscription box. It was part of a subscription box. I had to unsubscribe because the shirts were getting really bad. Um, we were getting really risque, so I was like, yeah, I'm not wearing these in public. So I had to unsubscribe and cancel my subscription. But that's what this is. It's Elizabeth from Seven Deadly Sins as a waitress. She kind of in the um, design she slipped. So that's who it is. Yeah, it is. It's a good skill. It has resulted in a few people being angry at me. Um, I think it's because they felt insecure about. I mean, my therapist said it's because they have felt insecure about their own. I mean, they she didn't know. She didn't say why, but they just felt they had insecurities. Yeah, these individuals had insecurities, so they don't like it when I use big words. In their case, they'd yell. But a lot of people, there are some people that don't like it when I am smart. A lot of people don't like it when I talk in facts like this. But I don't really. It's hard to talk to someone that's not autistic sometimes because it's like, how do I communicate? Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm the kind of person that's challenging myself to learn. Like, I try to learn, I try to better myself, and most people don't do that, especially in people who aren't in, like, the bourgeoisie, I think it's the term, basically the white collar jobs, the like jobs in the STEM field. They might be benefiting themselves, but even then, it's only so much. Trying to improve themselves. I'm someone in my class who doesn't even have a college degree. Someone in my position, you don't really see us constantly trying to benefit ourselves. So I don't know. Maybe that makes them feel uneasy because it's like, then they have to question why they're not doing it for themselves, or maybe they felt like their sense of they're smart or they're normal, and all of a sudden I come along and they're, what the heck is this guy even talking about? That makes them question their own self. Um, yeah, me if I don't understand something, um, I'm not afraid to ask. Like, I'm not afraid to humble myself. Say, like, I don't understand. Explain it to me. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand. Explain it to me. I'm not afraid to humble myself because I want to learn. If I don't understand something, I will ask. 9:45 a.m. right now. But yeah, that's something I guess that it differs me from other people. I see, Christian. You must be somewhere around California, then I'm guessing. Somewhere closer to California than I am. 2:46 p.m. for you, so okay. Yeah, it just turned 9:46 here. Vancouver, Canada. I see. Right above Cali. Mm. Yeah, basically. Yeah. It's like, gee, right there, that time zone. Right in the time zone. Um, I'm really hoping I can get another paycheck from Google soon. Reach the threshold for payment so I can get more in my account. Because I'm really only making like 20 to 30 a month. So, yeah, unfortunately, I'm only making 20 to 30 a month. I have decided to download Bedrock or Minecraft Bedrock actually. Yeah, 20 to 30 a month from YouTube. Yeah, I would like to. The only thing is, it's like YouTube doesn't like people that are small channels. YouTube does not like small channels. It will actually, um, YouTube will actually favor big channels over small channels. Not really by performance; they'll just favor big channels. I mean, if you guys can actually share my stuff, that would help a lot. Believe it or not, I would really appreciate it. But yeah, plus, let's see. I think a lot of people don't want to be. People want a lot of times want to be entertained. They don't really want to see someone struggle. They don't like when someone struggles. They just want to get positive stuff, and they don't like to see someone struggle. That might be why I have so much trouble with views and whatnot. Also, thumbnails aren't necessarily the best, and I'm not that engaging with my speech sometimes in videos. So that's something I really need to work on, my speaking and everything. Yeah, the only things with those bots actually, YouTube algorithm has worked against that somewhat. Promotion you can pay for. You can pay for promotion, and that works. But the like subs thing is actually the monetization actually has a in the contract it says you can't, if you can't like use a third party vendor to increase your subs or your views. It actually says that in the policy. You can pay for promotion though, like through YouTube or something like that. You can pay for promotion, but you can't pay for subs or pay for views. So that's actually in the monetization contract. But yeah, I've decided to go ahead and buy Minecraft Bedrock, and well, buy Minecraft Bedrock and play that Forest Nothing map because it seems like it'd be really fun. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Excuse me. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. What's Osmania? Piano rhythm? Yeah, it's a lot. It's pretty darn good. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've got a lot of goals, I guess. I do have the time. It's just the commitment. I didn't really. I didn't do the 10 minutes no YouTube thing this morning, which I really should have. Really should have, Yeah, really should have done the 10 minutes on YouTube this morning, but I didn't. Unfortunately, I'm getting a little sleepy. I think it's because I need some soda. No, my computer has a virus or something that doesn't, so it doesn't really work that well, unfortunately. And even if I paid for expedited service, it would take 2 to 3 days. So I couldn't do live streams in that time, and a lot of my work would be gone. Yeah. Well, if I had coffee, I'd have coffee, but I don't. Actually, there's a coffee shop downstairs now. There's a coffee shop on the first floor. Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather get it paid to do elsewhere. Hmm. I did drink quite a bit of water. I can drink more, but I could probably just go downstairs in a little bit and get some coffee. And then get some coffee, I guess. Yeah, but it will dehydrate you because of all the caffeine. Yeah, I do drink water. I mean, I have no idea what my arteries are like as far as like plaque buildup, but I'm afraid to know honestly. But my blood pressure is actually lower than normal actually. So normal, especially a little bit lower than normal for my age. Um, but when I got it tested at the uh, at the clinic a couple days ago, it was actually a little bit lower than the 120 over 80 marker, if I remember right. So, um, in fact, the doctor that did the physical on me, that listened to my lungs, he seemed kind of happy with my lungs, with how they were. So, like, like not just like a relieved, but he seemed like, oh, this is good. like these are good selling ones, you know. Really? I thought fish was a good source of iron. You know, there's also I heard beans are good, but I thought fish was a good source of iron. That's interesting. Uh, oh, my internet just buffered. Well, that does make sense because about plant sources being bad, meat and meat's being good because um, plants get the nutrients from the ground, whereas it's a metal, so an animal would have more because they eat the plants, and it's basically bioaccumulation at that point. It's bioaccumulation. What they eat builds up in their system, and metals don't leave the an animal's body too quickly, so that would be very likely. Hey, Jenna. So we're talking about how I'm going to be paying off my library fines after all these years. Uh, that's interesting. I would believe it because it's a different source. I mean, it would make sense because plants would possibly need it in a different form because they're a different organism, and animals would use it in a different form because they're a different organism. They function differently. So, library fines. I've had library fines for a number of years. I just haven't paid them off, but they're at the level where they would be sent to a debt collector, which would negatively affect my credit. So I'm just going to go ahead and pay them off probably today. Oh, if you're talking about, check this out. I'm actually going to show you this book on this thing I've got in chemistry. One moment, so talking about chemistry. I've got this. It's only like 70 something dollars though, so I can just pay it off at once. It's only 70 something dollars. It's not worth trying to get like a reduced amount. So So I've got this encyclopedia set right here. Um, it's entitled "Comprehensive Organometallic Chemistry: The Synthesis, Reactions, and Structures of Organometallic Compounds." It's like a 9 volume encyclopedia set. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pay off that library debt. No, actually, I got used. It's old. I got it old and used, so it didn't. I don't know how much it cost, but it didn't cost hundreds. I got old and used, so I mean, like this is probably fairly old. Um, well, this isn't really a textbook. This is more like a reference library kind of book. Um, it's marked and stuff, so yeah, it's from 1982. So I'm sure stuff has changed, but this is from 1982. Let's look it up actually. Hey Google, Comprehensive Organometallic Chemistry by Sir Geoffrey Wilkinson.
According to Google Books, brings together in one place a survey of the entire body of research in organometallic chemistry for both the main group and transition elements. Dot dot dot.
Yeah, see how much it costs. Mm, well, that's just volume 7. I wonder how much the full full set is worth. Yeah, current textbooks are really expensive. Let's see, volume 7 here. I don't know. I don't know. It's trying hard to. Maybe the full like a full set's rare. Oh well, I'll keep looking here real quick. Keep talking if you want to talk. I enjoy talking to you all. Yeah, I don't think it would suffer that much. So, so I'm just looking that up. We're talking about we're talking about this books have. Well, this is the third one. The third one's worth 28.40, but this is original, so new one's worth a lot more. Yeah, no, this isn't. Yeah, this can't be it. Yeah, no, that's someone else. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see it, but a lot of it's expensive. A lot of these similar ones are expensive. But yeah, a lot of these similar ones are expensive, but as far as this one in particular goes, I don't know. I don't know how much this regular one is called. Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, actually, what we're talking about to pay my fines is because, oh yeah, I'm sure they would have been. I'm paying my fines because I want to get books on the materials for uh, the Afghan languages because we have some Afghan refugees that are coming to town. So I'm hoping to learn their languages a little bit in order to, um, how should I put it? Learn the language a little bit, so that um, we could chat maybe a little bit and help to learn each other's languages, so that they would help learn English a little bit better. Because people here say I'm pretty good at teaching English. Like there are actually some foreign people. There's Mary Jane, who tunes in from Syria on Saturday. She tunes in on Saturday um, from Syria. She said she learns English from me pretty well. She learns a lot of English from me. So yeah, people like tune in to me to learn English. So people say it's it helps them. So that would be good. I'll drink some of this cognac jelly. I'm getting hungry. This will help a little bit. This helps a little bit with the diets. I found it's like diet jello. Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I do. I don't know. I don't feel like I use a lot of big words. I just feel like I speak normally. Um, it's sort of a way that I speak preference because I have my own preference. Will basically try to use a more accurate word instead of an approximation word, a word of approximation, because a lot of people try to use a bunch of words to get around the same idea, and I will try to use one specific word that I'm going to talk about. Um, like someone might say beat around the bush. I might say that, or I might use the singular word for that, which is circumlocute. Um, I might force a habit trying to make my brain constantly think because I like to make my brain think. I like to make my brain work all the time to keep it active. I might say circumlocute just because I'm trying to keep it working, not to show off, not to seem like I'm smart. I just try to keep it working. That's just me. Uh, but that's yeah, that's a problem I've seen a lot of people have. People think a lot of times I'm trying to sound smart. It's like, no, I'm just trying to like use my brain to keep it working. That's just my personality. I'm not trying to one up anyone. You know, if anything, I would like you to work hard to, you know, improve yourself. You know, like if I see someone that's smarter than me, I use that to as a drive to rise up to them. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, if you are, how should I put it? Let's say, here's a good example with neurotypical people. way neurotypical people interact in society, the way neurotypical people can blend in and act and whatnot. I use that as something to strive for. People can do it, so I'm challenging myself to adapt and be able to understand these behaviors and get to the point where I can act in that way. So that's what I'm using. It's like these people, I'm using them as motivation to catch up to them. Yeah. That's pretty cool, Jenna, sweet tea. That's pretty cool, Jenna. I've got a neighbor here who just moved in. I'd like to. She knows ASL. Maybe she could. She's helping another neighbor, a friend of mine, to learn ASL. So maybe she could teach me. I don't know. Haven't run into her that much. Well, so that's pretty tall. Yeah. Yeah, that's really tall. Pretty good height. Uh, well, the only thing is, Jen, how should I lost my track of thought there. I lost my train of thought. But a lot of things to struggle with. I'll try to remember what I was thinking of. I'll try to get back to that. But yeah, I realize languages are a big barrier. Like, for instance, I would have to be clear because of my autism. I couldn't really help uh, these refugees with with knowing normal customs because I struggle with them myself. Like, I couldn't really instruct them into what's normal, what's not. Like, I wouldn't be good at that because I don't really understand them myself. But as far as literal language, I could do so very well. But there are some. Hmm. Oh, yeah, cochlear implants. I've heard of those. Cochlear implants. Yeah, I've heard of those. Um, hmm. Yeah, there's what medicine has done for people. Hmm. I know my staff member yesterday. I was with my staff member. He said that. How should I put? It? He said. She said. He said, out of all the autistic clients he has, I'm like the one person who is really trying to change. There are people on his caseload who aren't trying as hard to change. They talk about changing, but they're not really trying that hard. And I'm the one person he has who's really actively trying to change. I think I think part of the reason so many autistic people don't change is part of the reason why so many people in general don't change is because change is hard, and when you change in the process of changing, you fail so many times. Um, and failure is very discouraging, but it's just you have to accept you're gonna fail and get back up. It's resilience you have to build up. It's just you fail and you get back up. That's one thing you can only learn to get back up after getting back up again. You just have to have in your mindset you're going to get back up. You just have to adopt that mindset that you're not going to give up, that you believe you can do it. So, something I would compare it to is, let's say, me with maybe, but the only thing is I also have focus problems, so it's more of a drive. It's not really a focus. It's more of a drive to keep changing. I have a lot of distractions, so I don't know if that's really a focus or if it's a drive. It's hard to say. It could be a slight obsession, yeah. Um, it could be. I understand what you're saying about the autistic obsession. That could be the case. It's slight obsession to change. But then again, it's like every person that's autistic has a different obsession. So it's like, how do you get someone to be obsessed with something else? It's like, how do you change someone to be making them interested in something else? It's like you might do it, you might not. So yeah, but people don't. I think people in general don't like to change because it's just when you're changing, you fail a lot of the time. And another thing is, the more we go into society, as society goes into technology or not, as society goes into technology, like things become faster. We want things immediately, and we can't get things immediately. And change is not immediate. Change in a person is not immediate, and because it's not immediate, people don't want to do it. They think, oh, it's not immediate, it's not gonna work. But because we don't have that immediate reward, we don't think it's worth it. People aren't willing to see the end goal. They only see the short term goal. They want to see what happens now. They don't see the end as being worth it unless they get an immediate reward. So that's something that makes a lot of difference in like people changing. Is it's like being able to put off an immediate reward for a long term reward, and that takes willpower. A lot of willpower is the willpower is also a muscle. They've done a lot of research, and um, willpower can strengthen. It's like you also need to rest and have better nutrition. Like you do need to rest to recover your willpower, but willpower will strengthen over time like anything else. You just have to keep working on it. It's hard, but yeah, change is hard. It's hard for anyone. I don't think anyone really understands like you gotta do what you gotta do. It's just the reason why there are so few successful people, even though successful people will tell you what you gotta do, is people don't want to do the work because it's hard and people don't want to do that work. People don't want to put in the hours and the years even to do it. Like I just do talk about Marshall Mathers because I know about him a little bit. But if you look at him, he discovered rap when he was 15. When he was finally noticed at the Rap Olympics, he was 25. So that took him 10 years of practice, of constantly failing and getting back up again to get to where he needed to be. So, and a lot of people aren't willing to put 10 years into any one thing in order to achieve it. But yeah, a lot of people don't want to put 10 years into something. Um, as far as me trying to overcome autism, I started when I was like 18 or so. I can kind of remember deciding to change, become more neurotypical when I was shortly out of high school, less than a year out of high school when change. I was so that makes about 13 years, about 13 years of well 12, I guess, about 12 years of trying to change. So if you think about a human, like the way they explain trying to overcome autism, as far as like the process of learning, is think of autism as like a martial art to overcome. Like if you want to learn, someone that's autistic wants to learn how to act uh, more neurotypical. Think of it like a martial art. After 10 years of hard training and teaching, you've got your black belt. And what a lot of people don't know about black belt, the black belt is the black. People think, oh yeah, you're black belt, you're done. The thing is, in martial arts, actually, the black belt is really just the beginning. The black belt is like, okay, you achieve something, now you keep going. You know, the black belt is really just the beginning. Um, to get to the highest level of martial arts, like for Taekwondo in particular, is it's supposed to take a minimum of 30 years to get to the ninth dan of Taekwondo. And that's what it's like if you have autism and if you really want to be neurotypical, it could take 30 years of really hard work. Now, if you have professional help, that would take less time. It'll take a lot less time. And nowadays, we have way more help for people that have autism. We have way more help for people that have autism. So it will take them less time because they get professional help. But for someone like me that didn't really get the professional help, it may take, a total of 30 years or so to really get there because it's just something that I have to learn, you know? So that's just something to remember. Yeah. Another thing people don't understand, autistic people are like this too. Um, you have to give up, you have to sacrifice things in order to achieve something. You have to give up something in order to achieve something. Um, in order to gain something must be lost. I have to give up things that are fun for things that are hard in order to achieve something that's hard, in order to achieve something that will pay off in the end. Um, it's been going for an hour and 20 minutes. It's been going for an hour and 20 minutes. Let me check the connection. I'm still connected to my home internet. Shouldn't be a problem, but I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Think of some questions you want to ask me. Yeah, walking your dog is good. Watch out for cars there, Jenna. Watch out for cars. That can be rough for people. I don't know. Uh, some people need to. Yeah, cars can be dangerous for cell phone users. Actually, I think I almost walked out into a street when I was playing Pokemon Go. So you have to be really careful with cars. Yeah, that can be a good thing to have. Can might not be because there could be something easy you want to do that would be like an easy solution. I don't know. Maybe tell me this is true. So, is there an easy solution you don't want to do the easy solution because it's easy? Because sometimes the easy solution is the right solution. You have to know when it is and when it's not. University is getting really bad though with what they're teaching. I can't say what it is on YouTube without being demonetized, but uh, it's getting really bad with what they're teaching. Unfortunately, here in the U.S., they're teaching some really bad things. So, okay, cool. Yeah, it's good. Um, yeah, I don't really have a service animal. Um, I could probably apply for an emotional support animal. The problem is I probably wouldn't be, I should put, responsible enough. Although I would be responsible enough for a bearded dragon. Actually, that would be a good support animal for me because um, bearded dragons are adapted to how much you hold them and pet them and play with them. Because it's like a bearded dragon um, would be okay with being left alone and be okay with being handled both ways. So, and they live in a tank, so if they have to relieve themselves, they relieve themselves in a tank. So if I'm away from them for work, I don't have to worry about clean up the carpet. Carpet won't get ruined. So that's something to remember, actually. So actually, that would be a good idea. I try to be responsible as best I can. That's the thing. It's like I try to. I talk about growing up. That's the way I put it. Um, I guess I'm harsh on myself a lot because my father would always say like you're smart but you're dumb. He'd said that. I don't know how many times my father, when I was growing up, would say you're smart but you're dumb. Um, I guess my parents tried to really force the autism out of me. Um, my mother didn't think she could do anything wrong, so she was constantly going about the wrong way. So but really, people didn't really know what autism was back then. Yeah, back then uh, people were still under the impression that autism was still someone that was very low functioning that was sitting in a corner going or spinning around in circles screaming, and that's all that people would know of autism. That's they thought that was autism. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I struggle with weight too. Fortunately, food is a negative cope for me. Food's a negative cope. Um, I guess it's letting go one coping skill after another. So one negative cope for another, one letting go one negative cope after another. Um, yeah, that's just something I have to do over time. Uh, yeah, trying to change myself as fast as I can, but it's like I don't know. Yeah. Well, except in the Encyclopedia Britannica is a really big book too. It's a big um, it's like a name brand kind of thing. It's a big thing for people to buy. I don't know. I'm probably gonna cook some vegetables after this. Actually, I'm gonna cook some vegetables. Probably be best. Yeah, we had one guy for like five. Had like five accounts. I had to ban him 5 times before he stopped. Let's see what we're talking about. I decided to start reading that book on mnemonics again. To and start researching mnemonics again to try and help people learn languages as I'm learning languages. Like as I'm learning these mnemonics, other people can learn them. So if I can learn languages through mnemonics, maybe it'll help people to learn the refugees language. Also, possibly help once I learn the refugees language, maybe I'll be able to learn how to help refugees learn English because I'll be able to converse with them using the mics. Thank you, Sut. But yeah, we need to get around to doing that video or video. Yeah, we need to do that video for. Close up for a sec. Am I back? Am I back, guys? For some reason the internet cut out. Maybe it's been on for an hour and a half. Well plugged in. I unplugged it. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Uh, anyway, uh, since it's doing that, maybe not go for too much longer. Maybe go for a little longer. But I'm hoping that, yeah, like I said, learning these mnemonics, learning to use mnemonics, and learning certain languages, maybe I'll be able to help people in other languages learn mnemonics. But yeah, maybe I'll help other people through mnemonics to learn languages. That would be really good. But I need to do that video on Swahili. How I learned pole, or sorry, or I'm sorry for you. Um, then I can be like, what I did was I used Poli because Poli sounds like pole. So what I basically imagined for Poli and pole was um, imagining someone having a pulley pull up the word sorry using a pulley, and imagining that person pulling up is like the weight of the word sorry is so intense. It's sorry is so heavy that the person is pulling incredibly hard and straining, and you feel the strain because when you feel it, it's more going to stick in your brain more. You're feeling it on the pulley. So pole means sorry, or I'm sorry for you. Yeah, that's true. But that's what I was thinking with pole, because it's like pulley, pole, just so hard. You're saying sorry, and you're really meaning because it's the weight of the words so intense that you have to pull really hard. Pulley, pole, pull really hard with a pulley to say you're sorry, which is pole. So that's the mnemonic I was using. Well, actually, I looked at the Google courses option where you can get certifications and stuff, but it didn't look like you could actually get a job through them. So, kind of seems like a waste of money. It's like you got the certification. Okay, it's nothing special. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you got a little certification. Oh, well. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. It's, but yeah, I decided also to get that Minecraft Bedrock, like I said, play Force Nothing on there. Yeah, the link posted. Let's see now. Yeah, the link posted. Maybe because you're a moderator, it worked. I guess if you're not a moderator, the link might not post, but because you're a moderator, so it worked. But yeah, it looks like the link posted. I clicked it, and it seems to be bringing it up. Yeah, yeah. There are a number of courses here. Yeah, so that's good. Languages tab. Okay. I haven't seen 1.18. No, 1.17. I haven't really gotten the caves much, so I don't really say about that. Don't know what to say about that. Let's see languages. Eh. Beginners Welsh cultures. Yeah, there are a number here actually. But it would be. It looks a little hard, honestly. A little jumbled. Like it seems like, hmm. Um, it's organized in a way that um, it's organized in a way that doesn't really make sense to me. But I think I could learn from there actually. Yeah, I think I could learn from there. But it seems to be organized in a way that's slightly confusing to me. I would just take a little while to navigate that. But yeah, it could be helpful. Yeah, that's true. I've heard about CV. I've heard that I've come across uh that resume. Yes, resume. Okay, because I've come across CV before. I don't know what CV stands for. Yeah, no resume. No, it is. There is RESUME. It is RESUME. It's probably French in origin. Hey Google, what does CV stand for?
CV stands for Curriculum Vitae.
Curriculum vitae. What is a curriculum vitae?
According to Wikipedia, in English, a curriculum vitae, Latin for course of life, often shortened to CV, is a short written summary of a person's career, qualifications, and education.
Oh, okay. So it's career, qualifications, education, written summary. Curriculum vitae. That's what CV is. Curriculum vitae. Well, we learned something new today, guys. The curriculum vitae. That's CV. Curriculum vitae. Well, now we know what CV stands for. Curriculum vitae. Life. Was it life lessons? What's curriculum vitae mean? Life what? Life lessons. Hey Google, what does curriculum vitae mean in English?
Here's the definition of curriculum vitae: a brief account of a person's education, qualifications, and previous experience, typically sent with a job application.
Okay, but what does it translate to? What does curriculum vitae translate to?
Here's the definition of curriculum vitae: a brief account of a person.
What does CV stand for? Because it said something.
CV stands for curriculum vitae. According to Wikipedia, in English,
Course
a
of life.
curriculum vitae,
That's what it
Latin
is. Course of life. Okay, there we go. That's what it's. Course of life. Curriculum vitae. Me, I would have read as a curriculum vitae, but it's a dead. Latin's a dead language. Let's face it. Latin is a dead language, so no one knows exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. Yeah, I was trying to do this as long as I could. Probably gonna end in about 4 minutes though, because my computer's getting probably kind of warm, and I get to go walk down to the library and pay off my library fines. Something that really makes me knowledgeable, though, I guess, what people call smart, is I commit things to memory. Like if I look something up, I care enough to remember it. Um, yeah. What kind of dog do you have, Christian? Because in Canada, I'd imagine you would need a larger breed of dog, wouldn't you, to be able to handle the cold? Really? Oh, and they can handle the cold of Canada, okay? Yeah, actually, yeah. So, oh, that's very interesting. I'm used to thinking Canada is cold because of how north it is. Well, so it's because this book actually, um, Ageless Memory, talked about how you tend to remember things you really care about more than things you don't. So, yeah, that's part of that. So, yeah. So, what else was there to talk about real quick today? Hmm. Wait, Christian, I thought you said you lived in Canada. Because I was like, Canada has a rainforest. Wait, oh, I get. I think I understand now. Rainforest means like how much rain you have to have, right? It's like how much rain you have to have throughout the year. Is that what they based off of? Yeah. Kind of like how a desert is uh, anywhere it doesn't like precipitate much because the biggest desert is actually Antarctica. Isn't that the case? Because like the biggest desert in the world is like Antarctica or the Arctic Circle because it doesn't have to be hot; it just has to not precipitate very much. You talk about pouring rain. What happens in here in the U.S. sometimes is we get what we call summer rains. We call them summer rains. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Stops and minutes where it's just like it'll be sunny, and then all of a sudden it gets cloudy, and then it's like sheets of rain. We call them sheets of rain. It's just these big drops of rain coming down so hard and fast. It's like there's no thunder or anything. But it's just slamming big water drops slamming down. It slants. I mean, it's winds blowing, and it's like there are slants of rain coming down so hard and fast. It lasts for a few minutes, and they're perfectly calm. It's sunny right after that. We call them summer rains. It's just it comes and just it's like all hell breaks loose for a few minutes, and then perfectly calm and sunny after that. It's just really weird. Ah, so so when they show in the movies of Scotland being really sunny, that doesn't really happen much, or but yeah, these summer rains uh, run through weather. I'll do that. Hey Google, Renfrew weather.
It's 62 and partly cloudy. Today, it'll be mostly cloudy, with a high of 71 and a low of 46.
Huh. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be it's 15% chance of rain. Uh, but yeah, actually, it used to be with summer rains. You used to say you could never predict them. It used to be kind of a joke. Oh, it's just raining. Maybe it was a light rain. Maybe it was a light rain. But it used to be you could never predict them. They would just come all of a sudden and be over in a few minutes. It was just like, psh, just rain, 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 super hard. You're like, what the heck? And then it's gone. Like, I remember, I can't remember when I was young, be like, what the heck? And it was kind of like, what the? Because you're like, it just came out of nowhere super hard. And then all of a sudden it was calm. And when you're young, you don't understand that because it's not what you usually expect, what you usually experience with the weather, and then you just get used to it. It's a very it's still strange to me, but nowadays with as advanced as weather has become, weather prediction with as advanced as it's become, yeah, you can we can predict them pretty well. Oh, sorry about that. We can get hail here. We've gotten hail and hail damage, not as much as you might expect, not as much as some places might expect, but we've gotten hail, some hail damage, but we haven't had severe hail damage in probably my lifetime. So 31 years, really, or at least as long as I can remember, we haven't. We've been fortunate not to have any real um, hail damage. We've had wind damage. We've had high winds where it will break a tree branch and the tree branch will slam into a house or something. Uh, that happens. We'll have a tree branch break and slam into something. Uh, that's not uncommon. But something else that happens, we get frozen ice. We get icy roads and stuff. Something that really sucks though is we get something called black ice. We get black ice, it's called, um, which is when because we have asphalt, a lot of asphalt. What happens with black ice is it's very super clear ice, and it's really smooth and very slick. And what happens with black ice is it's really flat and you can't see it when you're driving. You cannot see it. So you're just driving, all of a sudden you hit the black ice and you go to stop and you just slide. Yeah, you just hit this black ice. It's like a sheet of black ice in different spots in the road and you just go, you cannot stop. So you have to be really careful when you flow. When you drive, you have to go slow. Yeah. Another thing we've gotten a few times is drifting snow. I've driven in drifting snow one time. It was scary because like it was like I can't control the vehicle because basically what's going on is the snow's going to the side and my vehicle is basically blowing with the wind to the side. I'm trying to keep it straight and in my own lane it's like going to the side. Uh, we don't really get tornadoes. We have tornadoes in the area. Um, I've been told because of the rivers, Fort Wayne itself isn't likely to get hit by a tornado. Yeah. However, one time there was a nursing home, I think, and I saw the damage. We get something a lot of times called scuds. I've heard them called scuds, which is also known as funnel clouds. They will come down a ways, but not fully connect to the ground. And this thing took a big chunk of the roof out of a nursing home. It took a big chunk of roof out of the nursing home. So, yeah, I saw that damage actually before I went. I saw in the paper. Before I saw in the newspaper, I saw the damage. It was like a big semicircle. It looked like something. It kind of looked like a giant take a big bite out of it. Honestly, it was like a big semicircle right out the roof. So that was probably the biggest damage I've seen from a tornado in my lifetime here in Fort Wayne. Something else that's kind of crazy is, yeah, strange weather we've had. That's about the most I've seen for weather. But we'll actually get freezing rain, and when that happens, we get power lines down. That happens pretty often. Um, But yeah, it took probably 3-4 days for all the power to be restored. That storm, that was a bad storm. But that's probably the worst we will have. But the thunderstorms, like I said, are pretty common. Yeah, that happened. I saw that. I'd probably go for 7 minutes to make it a full 2 hours. Just go like 7 more minutes, make it full 2 hours. Probably my goal. But probably the worst thing that's routine around here is thunderstorms. They'll knock down power lines and stuff like that. And also, ice on the roads will cause accidents during the winter. So we got ice on the roads for accidents during the winter, and we've got power lines being down for thunderstorms in the summer. Uh, we used to have a real problem with flooding, honestly. A real problem. But the problem with flooding, the thing is, actually, we've continually, as a city, developed. As a city, we've continually worked on developing more and more areas for the water to go if the rivers overflow. Because I mean, we've got rivers, of course. We do have rivers, and they can flood. Yeah, rivers can flood, and because we live on an elevated area, it does help a little bit. But technically, uh, Fort Wayne used to be swampland, so because Fort Wayne used to be swampland, and it still could very easily go back to swampland if our drainage system didn't work. Yeah, we actually have still drainage systems built into the ground to keep the land dry. Uh, Started from its development. When it was first developed, it was drained um, into dry land, and we still use a similar process today uh, with drainage to keep the land dry enough to keep it built, but um, it can easily flood. So we basically just we can flood, and over time, Fort Wayne has developed a few methods, a few areas to allow flooding. Like we have what's called Sweeney Park now. We didn't used to have that. We actually had to. The city bought out that land, which used to be houses. It used to be houses there. The city bought that land and redeveloped it, rebuilt it, destroyed the houses, cleared out the land, and now it's a park, but it's also a floodplain, a man-made floodplain where if the river will get too high, it will actually flood into Sweeney Park as sort of a spillover area, so that other areas of Fort Wayne don't spill over, don't get flooded. So that was actually made by the city to help with flooding. So the city continues to adapt to the flooding issue, to the flooding threat. But yeah, that Sweeney Park was actually completely built entirely uh, for the point of providing the flooding area and intentionally providing an area that could flood to help make it so that other areas would not flood. Yeah, we actually had to build up sandbags. We've had to fill sandbags a couple times. We've actually had to fill sandbags. Um, yeah, flood in like 1982, I think. I think we had flood in '82. Uh, that was before I was born, so I can't really say for certain. It was either the flood of '78 or '82. I can't remember. I think it was '82. Uh, it was either '78 or '82. We had bad flood, but yeah, I guess like businesses and all kinds of places shut down so that the employees could take time off of work just to go and fill sandbags and um, pile the sandbags up because it was that bad. So, in fact, there's a middle school here in town. Um, Actually, just shut down the middle school so the students could just, instead of being at school, could go and fill up sandbags. There were schools that were shutting down, from what I hear, where schools were shutting down, so students wouldn't have to go to school, so that they could go and fill up sandbags. From what I hear, it was really bad. But I haven't, like I said, that was before I was born. So, but yeah, the city does try to adapt to situations like that. Though it could have a bad flood very easily with the rivers being where they are. So the city is trying to keep an eye on that. I think. Actually, I don't know what else could go wrong. Because we're pretty well protected because rivers from tornadoes. Yeah, probably flood is as far as a disaster. Um, Floods, thunderstorms, and winter storms are probably the most likely to cause us problems. Like actually, this last winter, we had really bad snowfall, so roads were closed. It was a level whatever snow emergency where basically it said emergency vehicles only. You know, otherwise you had to stay inside, stay home. So it's emergency vehicles only. So yeah, that was something you have to do. So we will have it's something that's happening more frequently now, but we can have it where it gets so messy, it gets such bad heavy snowfall all of a sudden that roads get shut down, and in order for the snowplows to catch up, the city will order emergency personnel on roads only. Everyone else has to stay home. Uh, we can get if we get super cold. We've had a few times where we get really cold. Um, Cars won't start. That can happen, but that's more recent. But those are really the things that we have to watch out for here in Fort Wayne. Um, we kind of adapt to it. We don't really get hurricanes, so that's too far up north, too far away from the ocean. But yeah, it's like winter storms, thunderstorms, and flooding are what we have to worry about. Bad roads from where. Well, I think this is about all I can do. My computer can probably handle. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off so my computer can cool off. I'm gonna save this tab up. But I wish you guys a good day. I'll post a video up later. I'll think of something. But yep, I'm gonna have to call it. Been a good talking to you guys. Think of some topics you want to ask me for the next live stream. See if my computer's all frozen up because it's so overheated.